Okay, we're at Joey and Emily's house. We're going to make some sauce. And before we started, thought I would just go through some of the ingredients that are here so everybody knows what ingredients goes into this. We start with a big old pot like this. We have olive oil, and almost a whole clove of garlic is going to go in there first with an onion. The onion will puree and put in the oil and saute it. Okay, next will come the tomatoes. So with this size of a pot, we're going to start out with 6 cans, and I like to use an Italian tomato. It's better tasting. Sometimes you can get them with basil already in it. These don't have basil, but it's a really good brand. This is a brand. If you find another Italian tomato you like, or if you add enough spices of your own, it really doesn't make a difference, but I found that tomatoes make a big difference in the taste of it. Doesn't really matter too much on the paste. I like contadina, but if you get a cheaper paste, that's okay. So for 6 cans of tomatoes, you're going to have 6 cans of tomato paste as well. What we do with this is when we open it, we'll put it in a blender. We'll blend those tomatoes. Okay, and then as the stuff is in the pan, you have oil and you have your onion and you have your garlic that's sauteing, and you're going to add the tomatoes in, but you're going to put them through this colander to get all of the seeds out of them. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of a process because you're going to do each can one at a time. What I also like to do is I like to use fresh basil, and I like to use fresh oregano. And what I normally do is cut it up really small. And as I'm putting it through the blender, I put a little bit of basil and oregano in that blender and mix it up. But if you put too much in there and then put it through the colander, what you're going to do is you're going to capture all your basil and oregano, and then you won't get it in the sauce. So I don't do all of it. I do some of it in there, and then I put the rest really finely chopped up into the sauce once it's in there. So once all the cans are in there, all of the tomato paste, each can you'll at least do 1 thing of water. But since I sometimes will make my sauce with wine. We're not going to make it with wine today, so the one ingredient I do not have here is you're going to add sugar to it. So I will be filming a little bit as we make this, but basically here are your ingredients. What I missed so far is you'll end up with some black pepper and salt once everything is in there. Once all the ingredients are in there and they've started to simmer, then you're going to add your meat to it. I like to add sweet Italian sausage and then some hot Italian sausage, and then if you want a thicker sauce like a meat sauce, I'll put meatballs in there. Now I didn't make these meatballs, I did buy them, but it's a good brand, they taste pretty good, and so I got some sweet meatballs and I got some spicy meatballs, the same as the sausage. All right, and depending on how big of a batch you're going to make is how much you'll do, but we will probably put all these ingredients into this pot because it's going to be a big batch. All right, we'll be back in a bit, but this is your preliminary, what you start with. So these are the ingredients you start with. Have fun with it.